two joint school service meetings since our last school board meeting on November 14th. Had a meeting at the regional library, and pretty productive meeting. Came to a consensus among everybody for 2-2-3 board, which is 2 from the city, 2 from the county, and then 3 at large. Everybody seemed to like the idea, thought it was fair. We had some discussion as to how we would go about staggering those, but I think there again there was consensus. Having talked with some of the folks at the School Board Association, there are some boards throughout the state that potentially could turn over their entire board every term, and I don't know of anybody that thinks that's a good idea or something to strive for. So we had some discussion as to how best to stagger. In that meeting on the 14th, we discussed the need for some subcommittees going forward as we needed it, whether that be for some of the down in the weeds type things. I mean, we didn't get real specific on the formation and who would comprise those, but we discussed the need for it, and I think everybody's on board with that. Our last meeting on December 5th, from the 14th of November to our meeting on the 5th, we got some, wouldn't call it bad news, but we got some lukewarm news on the idea of how you have an at-large vote across 2 different jurisdictions. And there may be the need for some legislation to allow that to happen. In the course of our discussion, it was brought up that there's a sheriff that's properly elected between the city of Covington and Allegheny County. So the idea obviously is not without precedent, but just judging from the statute, the consultants, again, there's nothing that covers our specific situation. So we may need to address that legislatively going forward. But nobody on the committee, I don't think we were of the mind that's a bridge too far. That's just a bump that we have to get over in some way. We made a little statement. I've heard some folks, and I've had some folks ask me, and you all may have had some of the same questions about the debt that each school district has, but more technically each governing body has, the city and the county. And I don't think there was ever any idea that we would consolidate the debts as current. So we sort of made a consensus statement that if this were to happen, each locality would hold on to their existing debts. I think that it's a lot cleaner that way for sure. And then towards the end of our December 5th meeting, we got into a fair bit of discussion about the condition of our existing facilities, both in the city and the county. So we'll be going forward with commissioning a facility study, both for all of the existing facilities utilized by the city and the county, as well as JRTC, and then the athletic facilities. Of course, the only one not covered technically by the school would be Burton Field. I'm sorry, Booty Howard Stadium, Casey Field. So hopefully we'll have some information about that for our next meeting this coming Thursday.
And that's a JRTC, correct?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And Erica, is there anything you'd like to add? There was a facility study done in March of 2015, and I have a copy of every one. Jonathan, I don't know if you've even seen this document or not, but anyway, it was mainly done, focused on Covington High School, about what needs to happen, what needed to happen to make Covington High School more modernized. So this was done by Oliver Webb Pappas and Rudy, who have been a lot of our architects and engineers. And I also told the committee that I met with the principals and Ms. Perkins and Shane Reed, our maintenance director. I don't know if it was late October, early November, to come up with a capital improvement plan for our school division, because there are things that we need to do over the course of the next 5 years to prepare for whatever comes down our way. There's still things that need to be done. So this will be one aspect, and Shane and I are going to go through this and see what's been done. But we're also, I hope by January, to have you a draft document of a capital improvement plan for our school division. There's painting that needs to be done. The track at CHS needs to be resurfaced. The wall at Burton Field probably needs to be, what's the word I'm trying to, made sounder. I can't think of the word right now, but it needs to have some work done on it. There's still a little bit of asbestos that I hope we can get done. There's boilers at CHS. There's a boiler here. There's heat pumps at not at CHS, at the new schools that are going to need work over the course of the next few years. So there's things that you all need to be aware of as we move into the future. I have not seen a 5-year capital improvement plan in our division. This will be something that I don't think has ever been done that I can find, but I will be presenting one to you with things that need to happen in our school. And the other thing, I'd like to applaud Rebecca and Darlene for all of the work that they've done to send Mr. Regenball and who's the other gentleman?
Mr. Sander.
Mr. Sander. Everything that they needed to come up with the financial report. And are we going to have, is that going to be presented this Thursday night? The financial report of?
I am told that both gentlemen have some maybe an interim report could possibly happen by this Thursday, but I've not gotten a firm thumbs up from that. But I'm told that they were discussing with our other consultants the fact that some of the financial news may be not so striking, at least not as bad as we might have feared as far as discrepancies and things. So we'll have to wait for them.
We've sent them salary information, health insurance, benefits.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him. I think maybe I heard from Jim, who's basically been asking some follow-up questions. I haven't heard anything since last week, so I assume he has everything now that he needs to. Of course, he may be working on something entirely different and call me again sometime this week. I don't know, but the last time we talked, I think he had what he needed.
So is December the 19th still a day of flexibility?
December the 19th, I would like to believe if our next meeting this coming Thursday does not contain much in the way of what two gentlemen got from both divisions, I would like to think that interim report would be there on the 19th and would contain enough material there for us to go over in some depth at that meeting. That's my hope for it anyway. But I hesitate to speak for them right now. Like I said, I know they seemed like, and again, what Melinda said I think is correct, both the folks here in our staff, our central office staff, as well as the county, I think they're to be commended for being prepared and being organized. I think is probably the best way to put it, because it didn't seem like it was nearly as difficult as what it could have been. So
we have provided everything.
Yes, everything that we've been asked, we were able to provide and got it to them in a timely fashion. And I hope we've given them everything that they need to move forward.